Welcome everyone to the Lee Valley and our weekly vlog. And in this week's vlog, we're going to be talking about my new marathon training plan for the autumn. Why is it interesting for you? Well, I'm going to break it down really simply and let you know some of the things that I'm doing in this plan that I think actually could benefit you if you're training for an autumn marathon. What is up everybody and welcome to the beautiful Lee Valley. Yes, I'm back out here and marathon training has begun, and like I said in the open, we're breaking this down, this video, with the aim of sort of offering you little bits of information that will hopefully help you with your marathon training plan and the build up to that plan. I'm not going to sit behind a desk and draw stuff on a piece of paper so it looks cool on YouTube. I'm not going to write it all on a big bit of card or anything like that. I'm literally just going to go through the sort of main things that I'm going to be doing in this marathon training plan. I'm going to talk about mileage, I'm going to talk about pace, I'm going to talk about strength and conditioning and all the other sort of little bits that I'm going to be changing versus what I did in London. Okay, so let's talk about the first sort of 4 to 6 weeks mini plan before we get into proper marathon training. But I always count marathon training starting when I do the pre-plan. Why? Because I'm basically building my base and the foundation ready to go off onto full marathon training. And I think it's really, really key. If you can get this right, just like your taper, your marathon training plan could be an absolute joy. Okay, so 4 to 6 weeks, what do? I stick in my runs in terms of patterns. So if I'm doing double runs and things like that, and we'll come on to that, I'll start implementing them over the next 4 to 6 weeks. But we start real slow. We start with the days in which I'm meant to run. We start looping back in some of the runs because, I don't know if you saw the vlog, but basically I took May off. But we start layering in the runs over the 4 to 6 weeks. Nothing crazy in terms of distance. I'm not looking to push mileage out. I'm just looking in these first 4 to 6 weeks to layer in the runs, put in the frequencies and get sort of accustomed to the patterns of going out and running 6 times a week. In terms of effort, all those runs will be easy. Nothing really mental. I might stick in the odd high session, but really nothing anything crazy. It's all about getting those patterns right, like I just said. I will probably, don't get me wrong, you know, spice some of the runs up so they're not dead boring, but ultimately they've got no pace goal or target pace wrapped into them. It's purely just getting out there and running. Now, once they're locked in those 4 to 6 weeks, at the end of that 4 to 6 weeks, we start sprinkling in the pace. So I'll start chucking in goal pace or marathon pace, come on to that in a minute, and I'll start really starting to dial in some of the higher focused work as well, whether that's intervals, whatever. Again, we'll come on to that. But at the end of the plan, of the 6 week plan, is when I start sprinkling in the pace. The most essential thing is to come into this mini block super easy, super gradual, but build those frequencies, build those patterns to which we can then take off from. Okay, so Tuesday, Wednesdays are both double run days for me. Why do I do double run days? There's loads of science around it, but bottom line, I found they worked for me. So I'll go out in the morning and in the evening, basically. Now, over those Tuesday, Wednesday, one of those efforts will be hard, one of the efforts will be medium, and the other two will be low or easy efforts, right? So here's an example. Tuesday, I'll go easy 4 miles, 6 miles in the evening with 3 of those hard, or I'll go easy in the day Wednesday, 4 miles, 6 miles in the evening with, you know, all that at medium pace or goal pace. Get it? But Tuesday and Wednesdays are good days for me because I'm double running, we get good miles through the legs, and within that I've got a high effort, medium effort, and some recovery sort of easy pace miles in there as well. And I've just found for London that setup really worked. A Thursday for me is just another easy run. Now that will start off at 3 miles and that will go out to 6, but it's a sort of run for me in the week. It doesn't really matter what I do, it's just there to bank miles, get me moving, get me out there, and yeah, that's all it's there for really. There's never any stress on a Thursday's run. Even if I had to skip it, it's no bother, it really isn't. But it's a run that is there really to bank miles and keep the momentum, because on Friday it's rest day. Friday's rest day, really important to rest, really important to recover. We've got some obviously active recovery because I'm on my feet all day with work, but it is a rest day. I'm not running in any shape or form. It's literally a complete sort of break from running. Okay, so Saturday's a long run day, always have been, and they're long run days, and I'll come on in a second in terms of mileage where we're going. But Saturday's is a long run day, go out early. It's going to be hot obviously because it's summer. Probably loop some park run into it as well, which is always good, I found, especially for running easy. But we'll go up in miles, so I'll talk about that in just a minute. But that's Saturday done, and then Sunday is a nice recovery run. So Sunday's run, which is the final run of the 7-day week, is 3 miles, 6 miles, whatever I fancy or have time for really, more than anything else. But that basically is my week, and that will stay the same throughout the whole plan. Right, so we've got mileage, pace, strength and conditioning left to go through. Mileage is literally going to be the same throughout the whole plan, shock, but it will go up with the long run. So my aim is to get 25 to 30 miles a week, and I'm talking in the 5-day plus the Sunday recovery. But basically I'm looking at 30 miles ish there. Might be a little bit more, like might be a little bit less, but that's going to stay pretty consistent all through the plan. And again, I've really found that's worked for me. If I keep the distance the same through the whole plan, which sort of works for me. Peak mileage is about, well, probably be about 52 to 55 miles. We'll do a couple of them, but that'll be peak mileage for me. But roughly about 45 miles a week is probably where I'm at. 40 to 45, yeah, it's probably a good chat. That's what I can sort of fit in. I may creep it up a little bit in this plan, but we'll see. But in general, that's the aim for every week, other than the sort of 20-mile weeks, and we do a few of them in this plan as well. So in terms of that, let's go through that. So long runs, we'll start at 13 miles, goal pace work. I'll come on to pace in a second, but we'll go 13, 16, 18, 20. Then we'll probably do a few more 18 and 20s than we did last time, but those first ones will be at easy pace. Again, come on to pace in just a sec, but we'll just be revolving through like we always do with the long runs and those sort of 18, 20 milers, because I really enjoy them. So pace comes into play because my easy pace this time is gone down a notch, so I'm looking easy pace from sort of 9:45, 9:30. It's going to come down to about 9:15. I do find myself running quicker than that, but about 9:15 per mile. And then the goal pace is going to be 8 to 8:15 per mile. That's where I'm at. So I'll sort of slot between those two. Obviously we've got some of the higher stuff, tempo work at like 10k pace, 5k pace, and all that kind of business. Actually, that's a good point. Just quickly, I'm actually going to be pushing a little bit harder on the 5k stuff. Try and get some of that real speed in the 5k. So where I've sort of done park run, I'm not really that bothered. We're going to try consistently and work harder at park run if we're not doing a long run with that. Right, okay, so that's the pace. So mileage will obviously go up. We'll loop the two together because on those later runs, so sort of after the first part of the plan, we're going to the main part of the plan, and I'll be layering in the goal pace, the marathon pace, the target pace, whatever you call it, into the long runs, and we'll probably head to Hartum and do the laps like we did before. So, you know, 3 mile loop easy, 3 mile loop goal. That's the sort of thing. And that's where I think, for me, in this plan, it's really going to make a difference. Right, so I think that's it. This is a real funny way to do it, but hopefully you'll get the basis and use some of it, because I think in terms of the plan before the plan, learn from me, patterns, frequencies, consistency, building what you're going to be doing in your 16 weeker. And then in your 16 weeker, if you follow what I'm doing, I'm going to basically keep the weeks the same. Obviously I'll slightly tweak the mileage because life's life, and also I'll eke out some miles. I won't go crashing in at it, but I will sort of step it up where I can. And then you've got your long runs, which will go up as well in mileage and come down, but we'll then chuck in the goal pace work. And I think something along them lines, little bits of that, could help you. Okay, that's it. That's the end to the very strange training plan vlog for 2023 autumn marathon. Yeah, it's a funny one, isn't it? But I thought it'd make it different doing it this way. And hopefully me rambling along as I'll be going along here, you've sort of picked out some of the meat from the bones in terms of what I'm doing for this year. But as again, we'll be vlogging the progress. You can follow along as normal. Get over to Instagram, 40_runs. It'll all be on there as well. But yeah, that's it, people. Marathon training has begun. Let me know in the comments. Are you training for something in the autumn? What is it? Let me know. I've got just under a mile to go. I'll catch you later.